If you're born after 1999, maybe you're not familiar with the movie American Beauty. This movie is probably one of the best portrayals of all the social dynamics that exist currently. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You have to see it, but this movie is unbelievable because it describes all the social stereotypes that exist right now. And at the end, there is a twist that is the strongest, the most powerful twist of all the stories that happen in the movie. It is the one that defines the whole movie. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's basically about male sensitivity and how a lot of men hide their real self. Take a walk. So, male sensitivity. There is a stigma that is related to men who display emotions and sensitivity. It is thought to be a weakness. People regard men who show emotions as weak, as wimp. Men are supposed to be, stoic, strong. Men are supposed to be the rock of the house or the rock of the community. They're not allowed to cry. They're not allowed to talk about their emotions, and that is a massive mistake. That is a big mistake because even those who proclaim to be alpha males, they're just hiding behind a facade of strength and stoicism and masculinity. It is a myth. If you dig into the psyche of these people who regard themselves as the stoic male, the alpha male, you will find a deeply hurt and vulnerable person. There's nothing wrong about showing emotions. There is nothing wrong about displaying your feelings and expressing who you really are or how you really feel. And it is actually healthy. It is recommended to do so. When you keep emotions to yourself, what you're doing is holding grudges and you're holding trauma that it stays in there untreated and can manifest later. It will manifest later, and it can manifest in several ways. It can manifest in crimes, and can manifest in questionable behavior. It can manifest in resentment and hatred. It can manifest in hurtful behavior towards your family, towards your kids, your partner, towards your co-workers, people around you. And those are the bullies, actually. Those are the bullies that we see in schools and in the workplaces and in the community. People who are holding traumas inside of them, and they're holding their emotions. They have been holding their emotions for a very long time, and those emotions turn into traumas that manifest in a very, very ugly way. These so-called alpha males, they also refer to people who are suffering of mental illnesses as weak. There is this individual, I'm not going to mention his name again, who constantly says, I don't believe in mental illness, I don't believe in depression. If you're depressed, you get up and you go do something about it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. People like this talk about these matters out of ignorance. That is literally what it is, talking out of their ass, not knowing. I have very close friends who are suffering of mental illnesses. I have dear friends who are suffering of depression, and it's a struggle, it's a battle, and it's not fun. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not fun to have people telling you you are a loser because you are depressed. It's not fun to have people telling you you are a wimp or you are weak, you are less of a man because you show emotion, because you cry, or because you talk about your feelings. It doesn't help, especially for people who are struggling with mental illnesses, with depression and anxiety. They cannot help it. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain caused for traumas or for events that somehow scar you, and it cannot be helped. It has to be treated by a professional. And having these people telling you that you are a loser because of it, you are a weak man, it doesn't contribute to the problem. It makes it worse. These people, they battle every day to get out of bed and to deal with the world and deal with their problems. And having an ignorant telling you that on top of that you are a loser is a very despicable thing to do. I would argue that showing emotions, especially now, showing emotions and talking about your feelings, it actually takes bravery. You will be mocked, you will be made fun of, you will be ridiculed, you will be called loser and weak. So it takes a strength, and it takes a lot of confidence, self-confidence, to be able to talk about your feelings and display emotions freely. It takes a real man without a vulnerable masculinity to display your real emotions. It actually makes you strong. Instead of being a loser, it makes you a brave guy to battle your depression and get out of bed and hustle. And if some days you cannot do it, you just can't, that's also okay. Don't judge yourself, and don't listen to ignorance who tell you that you're a loser because you're not feeling like getting out of bed today. Just one step at a time. But remember that it takes bravery, it takes courage to deal with those emotions, to face them and to treat them. Don't keep anything to yourself. There is always somebody who's gonna be there to listen to you, to listen to your emotions, somebody who you can trust to open yourself. But you have to do it, because those kept emotions inside of you turn into trauma, and they turn into much uglier things.